this time. Would you all please rise? I'm going to ask the Vice Chairman to lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good evening. I'm John Hodges, Chairman of the Board. For anybody that cares, was wondering, Friday at Dartmouth, I had a complete knee replacement. Saturday, I walked out less than 24 hours later.
Wow.
And I'm now home recuperating, and no, I do not drive here. Fortunately, my good wife is taking care of me. So, John Hodgkins, Chairman.
Joe Bailey here.
Jim Knapp here.
All right, you should have minutes from the last selectmen's meeting, please.
Been a while, hasn't it?
Has everybody read these?
Yeah.
I have, yes.
I move that we accept the minutes from October 7th selectmen's meeting.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Old business, the cell tower. What's up with the cell tower?
We're still waiting for the fiber optic cable to be run down Ridge Road from Kings Highway.
Okay,
Everything else is done, inspected. So when we see line trucks, we know it's getting really close.
all right. Good
That's the
answer.
latest I've heard.
I haven't talked to Owen Smith, who's from AT&T out of Maine. He's in contact with me towards the end of this month about the ribbon cutting ceremony.
Alright.
Maybe next month or December, whatever.
Okay. All right.
Hopefully by next week I'll have something to report, so.
Looks like we're done, other than getting the cable. Who runs that down? Probably AT&T or somebody?
Or a contractor for
All right,
that, yes.
okay. All right, good. All right, fire station, new addition.
New addition. Lighting, electrical is finished up today. Paint's finished. Overhead doors in. What we're waiting for now is security system, which I had American Security here today. And he's gonna get me a number to completely revamp it, go strictly to key fob. It was sort of put in there haphazardly years ago, so we're gonna rip all that out, and we've got wires and pipe run.
Is the interior work done, in other words, on what I call the fourth wall of the addition, which was really the existing firehouse? There was a door there. There was talk of making that door larger.
We're still going to, once we get security.
Okay,
Right now, it's not secure. That's our only security into where fire equipment is. So
Alright.
as soon as the security gets done, that's the next step, is to cut that hole.
and then there'll be no door there.
No door.
Just the
yeah.
outer small door on the side of the new addition facing the old town hall.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Good.
The next step, or a step, which I talked to Griffin about, is the floor coating. I got a
Okay.
price for non-slip floor coating. It's very expensive. I talked to Bill Lawrence, and he thinks he can do it a whole lot cheaper with the stuff he uses, which is fine. Talking $5 a square foot, which was $4,800. I thought that was a lot of money. So,
In terms of the heat, I believe Dead River has been contacted.
they're due here the 5th.
Okay,
We think, between Joe and I, we think there may be a crush pipe, but we don't know that.
all right.
My plan is to ask the highway guys to dig from the tank down to the first tee, about 10 feet in total, to uncover the pipe so I can see if there's a crushed line. If it is, that'll be easy to be fixed when we get it back in the system before
Okay.
Dead River gets here.
Right.
So,
So I do have a small electric heater in the office area. In fact, I left it on tonight, so if anything has to stay warm, that can be used.
This is the office where they,
In the new addition,
in the new addition, but are the medical supplies in there or not
they're
yet?
not in there yet.
Okay.
If you need help putting up shelves or something, give me a holler. But the heat is working, I just left it on there.
For those of you who don't know, there's one large torpedo tank that supplies propane to the old town hall, the heater at the trailer, and the firehouse.
And the
Right.
generator.
And the large generator next to the old town hall, right? So, I'm guessing it might have been disturbed when they dug the foundation for the addition. But,
We never ran into it,
okay,
so we
maybe
don't
just
know that,
crushed.
but
Okay.
it doesn't matter what when it happens, just we gotta get it fixed.
All right, anybody else? How about Old Town Hall painting?
It's
Done?
complete.
Good.
Yep, it's complete, I think it looks good. Did a lot of Band-Aid fixes, and I call them Band-Aid fixes because when the building was raised, the clapboards tended to blow out.
All right.
So as the painters are up there, a handful of nails and screws, bring back as best you can.
Good.
It's not 100%, but the paint should help a lot. Looks better, but hopefully it preserves what's there.
Is it one or two coats put on?
Two things.
Two coats, all right, so. It does look nice, okay? It's now one color instead of two or three. It's nice. Speaking of painting, if you look at the front three doors on the firehouse, there's a red trim around the doors. The fourth one does not have it. Any plans of doing that, or wait till spring?
No, I'm trying to get that done. I've tried to get a gallon of paint today, but of course Middleton doesn't have red paint. I'll get a gallon of red paint. Ken Anderson's volunteered to paint
Okay.
it. He's done a lot of work over there for a thank you, so.
So what shade of red is it?
I'm
Engine
calling it
red?
fire engine red.
Griff, anything to add about it? Any other concerns or comments?
No,
You all right?
no concerns at all.
One other thing,
Yeah,
there's gonna be a dumpster there Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Just do a good sized dumpster, so anything that you guys wanna lose,
Okay.
feel free. We don't wanna keep it there too long because everybody in town is gonna
Yeah,
see it. So, but anything you guys wanna get rid of, feel free.
This Wednesday, tomorrow, or 2 days from now, or
This
next
coming
Wednesday?
Wednesday,
This coming
right?
Wednesday.
Yeah, this coming Wednesday.
Days next time.
I start cleaning the debris up around.
Yeah.
as long as we're talking about the fire department and such, is the old ambulance gone?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's all taken care of? Took care of all the paperwork? Good. All right.
Yeah, we have our dollar.
Everybody know where it went to? It was given for $1 to
Center Hospital.
Center Ossity Ambulance, okay? When Middleton's ambulance started up, I believe we started with a used vehicle from someone, so it was trying to help somebody out, another town. Okay, good. New business. Powder Mill Snowmobile Club, Silver Street Crossing. Whoever's on, please introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like to do, or what you'd like us to do.
I have a few copies with some slides over here.
Okay.
What's your name?
So my name is James Buchler. I'm just a member of the club, volunteered to help out with this. And this is Tom Goss, trail coordinator, is it?
No administrator.
Administrator, okay, I got that wrong.
Paperwork guy.
Okay. So we are here today to discuss a road crossing modification to one of our trails that goes to Sunrise Lake. So essentially, there's a road crossing on Silver Street coming from the lake that crosses a landowner's property. It actually goes right over his front lawn. And he just installed a new lawn
I
this
do,
year.
yeah.
Yep. So, being a new lawn, he wants to move the trail off of his lawn to avoid future damage. I should note, this is currently the only trail going to Sunrise Lake. So looking at the existing trail on page 2, you can see from the right-hand side, the trail comes down and crosses Silver Street. It then travels south alongside the road before getting to his driveway. It crosses his driveway and then goes in a little ways in some trees separated from the road. And that first section there, right after his driveway, is where his lawn is. So we have been working at this for a few weeks. We are here today requesting permission to travel right on the side of the public right-of-way, which is Silver Street, for about 60 feet longer than what is currently being done today. The new section of the trail we hope will run along the roadway and join the existing trail immediately following his lawn. So this is the shortest addition to the trail possible alongside the road. There will be no changes to the actual location of the crossing itself. Where we cross the road perpendicularly will remain in the same spot. And we have come to this agreement with the landowner himself, the highway department, the police department, and the club. So we're here today to get the town's permission. Now I'll get into some detail on the next page about the exact proposed modification. If you want me to slow down, I can do that as well. Any questions, let me know. So you can see I marked it in yellow where the proposed trail change will be. I labeled where his new lawn is laid out right now. And as I mentioned, this is the shortest distance we could come up with. On the following slide, you can see the measured distance using Google Earth. It's between 50 and 70 feet. We estimate 60 right to the center of where the new opening will be cut by the landowner. So a bit of discussion went into the reason for this location. First, addressing one of the, actually first I'll go back a little bit. The initial proposal from the landowner was to extend the trail along the roadside about 200 feet. So that's a long time traveled on the snowbank essentially. There's a few reasons the highway department and the police department didn't like this. For the highway department, the travel would include going over a ditch where there's a culvert and packing the snow, and that could cause some flooding come springtime. Additionally, there's a hill crest to the south of the image here and somewhat of a blind spot. The police department was concerned that this could cause crowding of drivers on the street and lead to a motor vehicle accident, whether it's two cars colliding or a car and a snowmobile, and that's never what we want to see. So we negotiated some, and the landowner agreed to the minimal change of rather than 200 feet, limiting that to 60 feet. I've documented exactly that on the next slide. And I do have some images of the actual roadside on the last slide, if you'd like to take a look at that. There's some cracking in the road, and that's actually right where the culvert is. And we would be entering the woods well before that. So any packed snow would not be near where this drains to the other side of the road. And that's about it.
Looking at the map, an easy solution would be, as the trail approaches, to just shoot across the road and join up later, but that's through the woods, and I'm not sure that's possible at all. Furthermore, you'd be crossing near the crest of that hill.
We've talked about giving a new crossing south of the hill, but that can't happen this year, and I don't know how long it's gonna take. The big issue is landowners, whether they would agree to let us do that or not. At this point, we don't have any idea if they would.
So you already ride along the road for a certain distance.
That's correct.
And you want to add 60 feet to it. Is it groomable? Can it be groomed?
Well, a snowbank, basically.
It's a snowbank.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want us grooming too much into the street, I don't think, so.
Go ahead.
I for one have noticed that snowmobile lights at night they can be extremely bright. I'm assuming that there may be some night travel on these. When you're traveling along the roadside, are you with the traffic or against it? Or is it multi-directional?
It would be multi-directional. Yeah, there is some night traffic, it's not significant. I live on the lake part-time and use these trails. For the distance covered, maybe it was 80 feet, just estimated maybe 100 feet. It's never been a problem for myself, but there is two-way traffic.
Well, just for the record, I'd like to say it sounds like you've done your homework talking to both the police and the highway departments. And
That's Tom.
if they're in agreement that this is a solution to a problem, looks like it works.
I've spoken to the highway department about this. Nobody wants to shut your trail down, and this seems to be a good solution. You've added just 60 more feet of what you already had. Neighbors are happy. If anybody's concerned about the hilltop snowmobile crossing sign,
Right. Yep.
I think that's an easy price to pay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really a significant change. I don't know what you guys think, but
I know where the trail comes out, where it crosses Nicola, down next to the lake.
Yes.
As I own property in that area, I can attest to the fact there's not a lot of snowmobile traffic on that, okay? You're lucky if you ever saw 3 at a time, and it's not constant at all, okay? It might be more constant on the lake, but I don't think the going to and coming from is constant at all there, okay? When they've crossed the Cola, the snowmobilers are always very careful about going slowly across it, which is nice. Even though Nicola doesn't have as much traffic as Sylvan, the people riding are still very careful about crossing that. Okay? And you folks go around the house just before you enter onto Nicola, okay? I know because I plow that house. So, yeah, you folks do just fine, all right?
I have no problem as long as you have signs, letting people know where the crossing is. Both sides, both ways. Just for safety's sake, whatever, other than that, I got no problem with it.
No.
60 feet, so I have a heck of a lot easier to take care of than anything else, so.
Are you referring to signs on the side of the public right of way or on the trail itself?
Public, right, I want people to know, when they come over the hill, there's a snowmobile crossing ahead. Okay? So,
it's just the crossing.
I mean, I know you can see from a distance, just like that, but just make sure, because even though it's only 35-mile speed limit, people do more than 35, and I don't want to be, all of a sudden, oh my God, here we go. You know? And it's a small thing to take care of, so.
Well, on the trail itself, I'm assuming there's gonna be stop signs for the snowmobilers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Most snowmobilers I know are okay, there's always gonna be a few. They push the envelope, but
All right, comments from other folks that are here before we take a vote?
I'd like to say that the snowmobile clubs, for the most part, one of the nicest things you can say about them is that they add to the New Hampshire revenue. We appreciate that.
a lot.
Okay, so.
If there's no more discussion, I'm ready for a motion.
I move that we accept this proposal. Snowmobile Club?
I'll second with the caveat, they marked the approach on the roads for load and waste, and it's only for 60 feet.
Okay. Further discussion? All right, all in favor? Aye, opposed? That's it.
Good to go.
Thank you.
Now, separate from all this, has nothing to do with any of this. You folks run the trail down in the center of Union, where you cross the river?
I think you're getting into,
That's
It's in Union.
evergreen,
Oh.
the different clubs.
So it wasn't you guys that built the bridge over the bridge that was taken out? They worked real hard to build the bridge so that snow machines could cross right at, below the foot of, coming down the hill from Middletown. So,
I volunteered on that last fall.
I was gonna offer your, my congratulations on that was a lot of work.
Yeah.
So, but it enables you to get further beyond there instead of where the bridge used to be and they can't use it anymore. All right, good. You folks are welcome to stay, but if you have other business to tend to, you're welcome to depart. But thank you for coming.
Move along and let you folks do what you do.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you now.
Great job doing your homework.
Yes.
Thank you.
This doesn't mean it's gonna snow any sooner, does it?
I wish we could control that.
Yeah, you probably have snow all year round.
Yeah, hold off on snow.
See if you can get in touch with us sometime in the next couple of weeks.
All right,
Thank you.
Joanne, you're up next.
You probably will.
Two things. One is, I don't know if anybody saw the pictures of or noticed the flag that was displayed on the cell tower. At one point, there was a beautiful big flag flown from the top of the tower. And it has since been returned to us. And we were hoping at maybe one of the selectmen's meetings that is a department meeting, we have a triangle case to put that flag in. And I'd like to, without too much of him hearing about it, get Roger Maines here and have the selectmen present him with that flag. And it would be just something for him to remember the achievement with.
Good.
The other thing is, there have been talk ever since the construction of the school about using the school for different meetings and purposes. And some people were on the phone saying that, or excuse me, on the internet, on Facebook, saying that they couldn't stay at the meetings because it was too crowded, they couldn't stay at the meeting because there wasn't enough seating, why don't we use the school? And I responded that for two situations that were brought up was that, number one, the town was concerned about the amount of parking available at the school. And the other was the consideration the school had about children being in the premises, not being able to monitor the bathrooms and et cetera, things like that. Well, from Andrea Bowden, I got a response that could be, that those situations should be addressed if the powers to be were to take it under their consideration.
That's us.
I asked her who the powers to be were, but I didn't get a response on that. So, once again, the situation has come up about people asking about using the school for the town meeting. I thought I'd bring it to your attention.
I'll address at least one aspect of it, okay? It was the town that was instrumental in making sure that there was no parking along the roadside. With no sidewalks, you park a car there and get children out or get adults out, they're now walking in the street in the travel lane of the traffic. There's no breakdown 10-foot lane for people to park. So, the town is instrumental in saying no parking on the street, okay? I would have a hard time saying, let's have a town meeting down there, knowing that people would have to park on the street. It would seem to go against what the selectmen have already said about not allowing parking on the street, okay? I find it very dangerous. I know there have been times when the police department has allowed it for school concerts and such, but I'm concerned about parking on that street. If you have parking on one or both sides and need to get big rigs like fire trucks or ambulances or even a regular tractor trailer coming through. From time to time, the town and the school have at least toyed with the idea of building additional parking, maybe in the space between here and the school. If that ever happens, then I think I would be glad to revisit the idea of using it. In terms of space in the town hall, at the last town hall meeting, I guess I had the advantage of sitting up front, and I recall there being empty seats. Not a lot, there's some people standing, but that was of their own choice, all right, so. And I'll be glad to listen to you two, I'll be glad to listen to the school board people.
As far as my concern is, to use the school for voting day, and stuff like that, we have to have people go in the gymnasium before voting. The day of voting, you have people going through, and the day after to take things down. That's just stopping the school for 3 days instead of just 1 day. On top of that, if you have school in session, we have people, adults, walking through all day long. And unfortunately, we do have some people who are registered pedophiles in this town who you don't want to have access to the school. Okay? And I don't think that would be a good situation. So, and I don't think we should shut the school down for this. Okay? We have a perfect spot, it works really well. We put a lot of money into this old town hall. And, you know something, I think it's a well-used space, and for voting, I don't think we've ever had more than probably 15, 20 people maybe waiting to vote at any one time or any type of election.
I don't think they were talking about the voting, I think they were talking strictly about the
I know
town
voting
meeting.
has come up in the past as well, so I
But,
just
yeah.
wanted to address that, so.
Once again, I just, don't shoot the messenger, I'm only
No.
passing on that there is still discussion about it, and hopefully at some point in the future, the parking situation at the school, and once again, one of the things that I suggested publicly was that someone from the school board come to some of these sessions that we talk about situations like this, and maybe they can understand the parking being the bottleneck or the
The
problem.
concept of additional parking in the woods has come up several times, and it has gone no further than discussion. Okay? There's been talk that maybe we could put it in the budget that the town pays for some of the additional parking and the school pays for some of it. And so far, there's not been a lot of interest in doing it. Okay?
Joe, in that area over by the tennis courts,
Yeah,
that's all, that was funded from a grant. You can't put any parking there at all,
yeah. I'm aware
because
of
it's
that.
all from that grant.
Yeah.
That's for recreation only.
Plus, the well is there and you can't park near the well.
150 feet away.
Okay. So it leaves only the wooded lot between the two properties.
So at one point you, or somebody else, went from the corner down here, and you walk down the front,
Right,
okay? And the town's property that was given to, by the school way back when, okay?
About
Almost,
halfway.
is halfway down to that wooden, this
Right.
wooden lot on
Yeah.
the trail. So there is some spot over there if they wanted to clear cut from that road that goes down to the tennis courts, coming up this way, that could be actually cut out and utilized in some fashion for parking if needed, because you can go back as far as you want, and it's just a matter now walking from there to the school.
If it doesn't interfere with the recreation
It
area.
will not interfere because it's on the other side of that.
you would have to have a sidewalk, not next to the road, but away from the road that goes along the property, lit so that people will be safe walking there at night, but it is certainly a possibility. Okay, Jim?
I guess my only question is, I didn't notice the town hall at town meeting being chock full, being packed
Right.
full. What would we gain by
Yeah.
moving it? Aside from we got X number of dollars in the old town hall,
Right,
what do we really gain
yeah.
by moving to the school?
The only, yeah,
If it's not full,
All right.
if it's not broken, why fix it, I
Right.
guess is where I'm coming from.
Comments from other folks? I'm interested in hearing what people have to
I
say.
think we beat that subject to death.
I particularly appreciate people coming here and talking to us, okay? That is very much appreciated. I value your concerns, all right?
One last, about the flag for Roger, is that something that could be?
Sure?
absolutely.
Yep. Could it be done in conjunction with the open house visit from the governor?
That would be
Okay.
slick.
I don't know.
Let-
That would be nice.
Look, Mr. Smith and I were supposed to, he's gonna call, I gave him the option, call me first. I'll reach out to him tomorrow like that, by next Monday's meeting, maybe a little bit further ahead, because AT&T is taking care of all the, advertising for this thing. They're gonna make, for all the notifications to get all the dignitaries together on a certain date to make that happen. So I'll see if he's any closer to it, and I can let you know next Monday's meeting, if there's any more change in it.
I do know every time we've talked about, Roger taking a major role in the ceremony, he keeps saying, no, I don't want any fuss and bother, but I still think he would be extremely
Certainly
flattered by
worthy
it.
of it,
so.
yeah.
That'd be cool if the governor could give it to him.
Say again?
That'd be cool if the governor could give it to him.
Oh, wow, yeah.
No, I'm just saying, if we
Yeah.
could work this thing the right way, it might be able to work that way, so.
Without getting into the particulars, would his health allow him to come if the meeting were a month from now? 2 months from
I
now?
don't see why not. I mean,
Okay.
I think Roger he'll crawl up here if we have
You're off
to.
his deathbed for that.
Get him there, huh?
So,
Alright. Anything else? Next item, please. 111 New Portsmouth Road bid. It is a piece of property that the town owns. We put it out to bid.
I like to move that to the end of the,
Don't you dare.
Alright, so we're good? Alright.
Only one we had.
You wanna open it?
Joe, John?
I can open
You
it.
got one bid?
Yep.
All right. That's what I like
Suck
to
these
hear.
up.
Right now, I'll make it verbal.
You said you ever set it up in circular file?
For those of you that don't know, through failure to pay taxes, property after a few years ends up property of the town. With that, we gain no taxes. So our goal is to get some of this property back on the tax rolls so that the town is benefiting from somebody besides us owning it. Okay, here we go. 117 New Portsmouth Road, Middleton, New Hampshire, October 10th, 2019. To the Selectmen of Middleton, regarding map 21, lot 3, also known as 111 New Portsmouth Road, being offered for bid, we, the undersigned, Anthony J. and Joanne Kosky, sitting here, would like to withdraw our previous bid. Thank you. Oh, no, this morning. We are submitting this new bid of $3,000 for this lot and all property thereon. Property thereon includes something resembling a trailer. Okay, I don't know if it's livable or not, or it's, okay. Upon acquisition of the property, it is our intent to merge this property with our currently owned abutting land. This is roadside. You abut on 3 sides. The only one you don't abut on is the road.
Well, it only has 2 sides because it's a triangular.
Oh, okay, right, but you
Yeah.
go all the way around.
Completely around it.
We wish to assure the selectmen that as we have done with our currently owned parcel, we will clean all trash, debris, and see to the removal of the mobile home and travel trailer as soon as possible. Respectfully, Anthony Kosky, Joanne Kosky. How much stuff is there to remove? Dumpster?
There's debris in the backyard, a lot of it's so overgrown, I'm not even sure how much is there.
Okay.
It's going to take until spring where we can clean off some of the vegetation before we can see just what kind of cleanup. The trailer will have to be removed at some point.
Kathleen, what would the value of the land be in terms of taxes to the town if it were merged and the junk taken off it?
I'm not too sure.
Okay,
I wouldn't know. They would have to go out and reassess it and all that lovely stuff.
Okay.
When you merge it, it's cheaper for her if she merges
Right.
it together as one.
alright, how big is the lot?
It's 0.56 acres.
Okay, so about half an acre.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
But half an acre there is different than half an acre on waterfront at Sunrise.
It sure is.
Okay?
Yep.
Well, this lot was originally part of the entire 100 acres.
Okay,
It was cut out of the 100 acres as it was, so we're just bringing it back into the original plot.
everybody know where New Portsmouth Road is? All right, good.
Where's the comic strip? Right there.
Without getting into the, I'm getting off topic, without getting into the history of New Portsmouth Road, Joanna, Tony, at one time, was there a settlement called New Portsmouth?
Yes, Community of New Portsmouth.
And was it always within Middleton, or did Middleton absorb it at some point?
I've
Not
really
sure.
researched it.
Yeah, okay. But just like there's New Durham,
We've got
New Boston, there could have been New Portsmouth.
we've got a copy of a map from 1871, I believe it is, that shows that not only New Portsmouth Road not only did exist, but the part that was Class 6, is now our driveway, continued on into the conservation property, and there were cellar holes discovered now. And on that map, there were actually homes back there, and it names the families that lived there.
Was there ever another way out besides New Portsmouth Road? If you've ever driven that in the winter, before they used to plow it, I have no idea how anybody ever got out of there.
Well, the property that we now hold, we researched the deeds back to the 1850s or so, and the property once sold in December, and the deed was not recorded until I think May or June.
Yeah.
They probably couldn't get out.
All right. What is your pleasure? Any other comments from anybody? Anything? No. Okay. No. $3,000 would go back into the coffers, and then it's your intention to merge it, and then that would have to be reassessed by Avatar and so forth. All right. So, ready for motion? It's only bid. This is, by the way, this is in effect gone out twice. Okay. We sent it out once with the wrong address. So we sent it out a second time,
Wrong map.
and these folks have been nice enough to wait for it, because I'm guessing you'd like to do something before snow flies, and you've been nice enough to wait.
One caveat about merging the property, because the land surrounding it is in current use recreation,
All right,
I'm not sure how that situation works where this property is not in current use, and to merge it with ours, I'll need to talk to someone about.
The only thing about current use, it usually is untouched land, and where it has a well and a septic on it, I don't know how that would work.
It doesn't have a well on it.
I mean, sorry, yeah, you have an easement on yours. Where it has septic on it, where it's touched land, there's a trail, like, I don't think, maybe, I'm not sure. You'll have to talk to Jonathan, but I'm
not even sure it has a septic system.
Well, sure, I think it does, but at the same time, I really don't know if you could put it in current use.
You said that's a big
But,
pond out
again,
back.
I could be wrong.
all right, we're not talking big chunk.
But you can definitely merge it.
All right,
Merge is probably the best option,
Yeah.
but putting it, it's 0.56 acres.
I'm gonna move that we accept the bid, October 10th, for $3,000 for this particular lot.
Second.
all right, further discussion? Okay.
When's open house?
Yeah, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
When do you wanna
Opposed?
move into the
Bring your dirty clothes.
Joanne and Tony, you'll coordinate with Kathleen about, there's gonna be a transfer of,
Yep.
Title and so forth. Kathleen, I don't know how many of these you have done already, but I would ask you folks to be patient with her as she works through the
We're not going
intricacies
anywhere.
of doing it.
The other thing is, Joanne is spelled without an E,
Did I do Joanne again?
and our property,
Oh, it is, isn't it?
117 New Portsmouth Road, is also in a trust, so the deed should be made out in trust form, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
wherever you want, you need to let me know how you want it.
Yeah,
If
but
it's a
just-
trust, that's fine.
Combines here.
But you're gonna be there when I do the deed anyway, so.
Okay, all right.
So,
Good.
nothing can be done on that property until it's been registered to the
Correct.
registry of deeds, correct? And they can't jump the gun and go to start cleaning things out. They have to
I
wait.
think that's correct.
You have to wait until it's, and I cannot, I'm busy tomorrow, but
Right.
Wednesday, Wednesday I can probably start doing the paperwork on it.
Okay, thank you. All right, so that's good news, right?
Yeah. Thank you, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. All right,
Been a long time coming.
a little history on the Eversource settlement. It seems that several towns in New Hampshire came up with this tremendous way of getting tax money. The telephone poles in this town sit on the town's right of way. Therefore, not the three of us, and not the current, but nobody here, this was, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years ago, somewhere, somebody came up with a bright idea of taxing the company that owns the telephone poles. And this was not just Middleton, this was, I don't know, how many are in the lawsuit, 30, 40 towns?
It's more than that.
Okay, well,
95.
Eversource,
95 towns.
not surprisingly, took exception to the idea of towns taxing them. A prolonged lawsuit, the only one who has really profited from this are the lawyers. We keep paying our fair share, little tiny Middleton pays a little tiny amount, but these lawyers get little tiny amounts from everybody, and they're doing just fine. It looks like we're close to some sort of out-of-court settlement. And here we go.
So, there's a settlement. They asked if we wanna go ahead and proceed to the next level of still be on the bandwagon of not settling out. So that would be more lawyers costs, more lawyers costs pretty much. Or we can settle and we can pay $47,192 over a 3-year period, interest-free. So it'd be $15,000 and some change every year. We're gonna check to see if DRA will let us pay it in one lump sum, but if we do the 3 years interest-free, if we don't take the settlement, and if we go to court, we still will probably pay about $5,000 plus any interest on top of that. Dating back to 2013.
Right, that's if we win, we pay that much.
Yes.
If we lose, we
If
pay
we
that
lose, we pay
5,000 additional,
47,000.
plus what's there, or even more.
Yeah, 47,192. Yep, if we settle out.
And
So
on top of that, we keep going with it, we still have lawyers' fees until they come to it. And that could be another 5, 10 years from now.
Kathleen, this is public knowledge.
yes.
Would you just pick a few towns,
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
you know, give you an idea where Middleton's
So,
portion is compared with other towns that are in the same lawsuit?
So Middleton is $47,192. Okay, and they will settlement out with us. Some towns they will not. So we'll go to Nashua. Just say they will pay $1,508,227.
Come here, Weston Ashland.
Okay, we'll go with
No, a smaller town, you have to find the smaller towns.
Swansea.
Yeah,
Swansea.
Swansea.
Yeah, Swansea.
$423,250.
More
Yeah.
than us.
More than us. You have Stratford, which is $229,572.
More than us. How about New Durham?
New Durham is not on
No,
this
they
list.
have New Hampshire Co-op. that-
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they're smart.
Farmington.
So Farmington is $327,614, and Effingham is not on here. So
Didn't our lawyers recommend?
our lawyers did recommend the settlement because most likely once we go to Superior or whatever the next step is,
What it was?
we were gonna pay on top of all the lawyer fees on top of interest. It was
Interest
just
plus lawyer
fees
fees, so
plus
their
the 5,000.
recommendation was to.
just to be done with it.
So, it sounds like we have, in effect, 3 choices. Continue with the lawsuit and let the bills continue to mount, or take the settlement and pay $15,000 per year for 3 years.
Yep, interest free.
Or take the settlement and see if we can take something from our unreserved fund balance and pay it all at once.
All at once.
And you're gonna,
I'm gonna check that out
you'll
tomorrow.
research that based on
Yeah.
what we decide to do.
Yep.
All right,
So maybe by next month we can make a decision on it.
Yep,
Okay.
definitely. I will have that answer for you.
Comments, what do you think? Do we take the deal? And if we take the deal, do we try to use unreserved fund balance to pay for it? Or do we start budgeting 15,000 per year for 3 years?
I would say pay it all up,
Okay,
Get rid of it.
be done with it,
Yeah.
anybody else?
My opinion is get rid of it.
be done.
Now,
Did we ever make any money on the rentals at all?
We still can
yeah.
tax, we can still tax, the poles, we were just over assessing them,
right,
No.
like, to the point of ridiculous, I guess.
I mean-
$47,000.
I don't know, it's pretty ridiculous to get a line run by Eversource, so.
I agree, I'm getting solar.
Well, but the bottom line is it doesn't matter as much as they were taxed, we still paid for it in our public,
Tax.
in
Oh,
our
sure,
public
yeah.
service. And you know, we're gonna pay the settlement, our electricity is not gonna get any cheaper.
No,
That's right.
you're right.
So,
That's right.
we want public service and living on both ends here.
Yep.
But we don't have a choice
Get
because
some
No,
solar
either,
power.
no, but I'm just saying,
unfortunately.
So what exactly was the lawsuit about? Was it just they're being
Overtaxation.
overtaxed?
Yep,
Yeah.
overtaxed,
So,
yeah.
but it's not a year or two, it's,
It goes back to the 90s, and then they settled out on that,
Yeah.
and then now we're into the 2013 ones. And
so it's
now-
not that we can't tax them, it's just that we were.
Can't tax that much.
Yeah,
And who makes the decision on how much the poles are worth?
well, apparently not,
Probably
Not
Eversource.
us.
not us, because
Oh, well, I'm like,
I'm
does
assuming the
Avatar make
assessor,
that?
or like the state, they have guidelines, but apparently those guidelines are just not right, because we were still over assessing.
Just teach them all a lesson, put in a solar
Yeah,
farm.
we don't know who, that's where I'm at, is who assesses the poles, because,
I would think it probably goes through our assessing company,
Right.
Avatar.
because I would be asking them on why
I think
they.
Avatar is incurred with all the state,
No, they weren't
Whatever,
charged
or
the
what
same,
they do,
yeah,
yeah.
so,
So I would say
Set their
goes
own
with
rate.
oh,
Sounds like it'd be
One
them.
height,
exactly, so,
He
yeah,
says we're gonna go to court and end it.
so,
I think that's what it is, like, we had to charge them a certain, like, the set rate now, instead of what we think we should charge them.
Okay.
And everybody looked at, well, look, we can charge Eversource, so let's
it'd be nice,
boost it up.
Yeah,
it'd be nice to know what that rate would be, what that rate is.
That's a good question, it's a poll tax.
What is the rate for the for the pole?
She has it upstairs,
What is, no, well,
yeah, well, I don't
again,
know if it's
maybe,
right.
no, well, but at least give us an idea.
Yeah, no,
Maybe
definitely.
by next time we can figure that out too.
Okay,
what do you folks think? Could Middleton be a forerunner and suggest we tax the wires instead of the poles? No,
In
no.
addition to
Per
the.
foot?
All right, gentlemen, what is your pleasure?
I'm gonna,
Nothing else from anybody else, so.
my pleasure, if DRA gives us a blessing, let's go ahead and pay that $47,000 in one lump sum and get rid of it.
Okay, and if not, then
We have
still
to.
pay the 15
The 3
per year.
years like that, but we'll have to put that into the budget.
Right, okay,
Yeah, I agree.
agreed, so that's a
Try to
second.
pay it off, that's a second.
Yep.
Try to
Alright.
pay it off, if not, we'll have to
Okay,
go budget then.
all right. Any other discussion? This is where our money goes, yeah. All right, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
All right, thank you.
And thankfully, we have the money in the budget to be able to do things like that.
Yes.
Fund balance, yeah, absolutely.
Huge.
Huge.
Okay, Health Trust,
You take that $3,000 and it right back.
2020 rates. As a town, we employ people, and as such, we offer health benefits. Those health benefits are going up. All right, Kathleen?
okay, so I have the medical rate, so it went up 7.4% from 2019 to 2020. So here's the breakdown right here, and then I just need John or Jim or Joe to sign this one right here. Where's the signature, but that's it right
And
there.
it went up, we talked about this earlier, it went up almost $1,000 a month.
Yeah, yeah,
$1,000 a year.
yeah. 7.4, yeah.
What are you gonna do?
You get no choice but pay it.
It's,
Tax the wires.
All right. Discussion?
Tax the wires.
Tax the lawyers, thank you. No, actually, I have the solution, but so far, nobody agreed with me. Okay? You all know that we register dogs, Right, there we go. Well, want to register cats?
Oh, I'll take care of that.
Alright, do I need a motion for this?
broke,
No.
ready to
That motion is just part of business.
So I have a question, so this is it's going at 7.4% increase. Is that all being absorbed by the town, or is that gonna be some of that gonna be absorbed by the employees?
Well, our cost is still, I believe, 10%, so, I mean, it equals out the same, like 90, you guys pay 90, we pay 10%.
So, yeah, so
So,
it is being absorbed.
Yeah, so it's not the whole
Right, no,
amount, but,
So yours is gonna go
that
up,
was just.
Yeah.
10%.
We're spreading
oh,
them.
7.1.
Or 7.4 minus percent, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
What's the
You're not
27th?
like in school, it's not.
No, I know, Joe, I knew where you were, yeah.
28.
Waiting on that.
Just keep on stirring the pot.
And that's it, okay. I think there's only one signature.
Yeah.
Okay?
And just so you guys are aware, not everybody goes, like, I know you say in school, but it's all about who uses it, how much claims are against it, and that's the reason why we go up or down.
Alright,
So, just so you're aware.
But there's gonna be a pool of, like, pool,
Everybody pays into the pool.
but I mean, a pool as far as like towns, right? The health trust covers the whole
Yeah,
of the town, so.
municipalities, yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
their members. Whoever
Yeah.
But,
participates.
I mean, we went up, say, 7.4, I know Alton went up 16 something, cause they used, you know, they're
Oh,
bigger,
okay.
do you see what I'm saying? It's not all 7.4 all across the board.
Okay.
It really
Our
is how many
portion went up
claims.
7.4%.
Yeah, it really is
Oh, that's good to
the
know.
claims that, I mean, if you have like 6 people on surgery and, you know,
fall down right there.
but
Yeah.
don't you worry about that, that's not workman's comp. But it is out of the insurance.
Alright,
Just tease.
so
Roxanne?
next year, we're all 10% on that.
Yes.
Roxanne, without getting into all the details, I'm guessing you know something about insurance.
No, well, I don't, not the health side so much, but I, you know, I know a little bit about it.
Alright, budget. Even though we don't vote until March of 2020, we've already started asking first the department heads, what do you need for budget? Then reviewed by the selectmen, who could increase or decrease things. Then we try to meet with the budget committee and invite the heads of the various police, fire, highway department to come and explain why they want X number of dollars for their budget. It is a lengthy process. Each meeting is open to the public, so you can have an idea of why the highway department needs a new vehicle, or the fire department needs extra equipment. It's all explained before you go to the town hall meeting. It's also explained there again as well. So, we're now at the point where we've asked the departments to submit a budget, and I think the selectmen are now gonna meet in a public meeting to just look at it. It's not the big meeting with the budget committee, it's just look at the numbers. That sound right? And I think we're doing that is it this Wednesday? Next Wednesday.
A week from this Wednesday.
A week from Wednesday, all right? What time? I think it's not like
8 o'clock.
8 in the morning, if people are around, you're welcome to come take a look. Okay?
It's just our preliminary numbers, we get our budget as well, so.
Okay. Next is that,
Put the $20,000.
Hold on, I just wanna get the date right. So next Wednesday at 8 o'clock?
Yes,
Okay.
that would be the,
6th?
yeah.
the department had rescheduled date, typically the second meeting of the month for the selectmen, the department heads come to talk about issues. We've missed the past few second Mondays of the month. I think there's something with Labor Day, and then there's Columbus Day. At the rate we're going, we're gonna miss it for Veterans Day, so we're asking that we change it to the first Monday of November.
Which is next month.
Okay? Is that all right with everybody? We will notify all the department heads to come for that, all right? I don't think we need to vote on that. Okay, what else have I forgotten? What else we need to go over? Joe?
I'd like to thank everybody who helped us on the Halloween trunk or treat Saturday evening.
How was that?
We had initially 25 people signed up for it, a couple people didn't show, but we had 23 who did.
Plus
Okay.
others that passed out candy.
Huh?
Plus others that didn't.
Yeah, so we had like Linda Damo and Mary was there, and like that, just passing out candy that didn't have a trunk, whatever, as well. So, yeah, we had a good time. Laura Parker and Andrea Bowden was over at the Old Town Hall, doing a picture thing for the kids and stuff, so it went out pretty well, so.
And Dave, the bus driver, was there hanging
Dave
out.
Crew was there as well, giving out candy, yeah, it came out pretty good. Whoever came in first, but I can't remember, her name's Christina, I can't remember the last name, so.
Something
But-
like that.
And then she took first place in the trunk or treat, and then we had
Eric and Lindsay.
Eric
Boyer.
and Lindsay Bullier, who come in second place for $50. They donated that money back for the harvest dinner when we have one. And then we had third place was I don't remember.
Oh, it's Kathleen Gregory.
Oh, Catherine.
Yeah, she
Potter.
had $25.
Potter.
So anyhow, worked
It
out pretty
wasn't
nice.
me.
So a lot of candy. I mean, we had a lot of candy.
I would certainly congratulate you, and I believe you were part of it.
Big part of it.
Interesting that in some bigger towns, they have a paid staff for a recreation department. We have a staff here, of 2 of you and a few others, and there's no pay, you just do it for the good of the town. Thank you. Anybody else here that was part of it as well? It's nice that we do things for the town. Thank you. All right?
Happy to do it.
All right.
Now it's over.
But you're also active in, there's a Christmas get-together, and I thought last year there was a Thanksgiving dinner,
That
harvest dinner,
Yeah,
okay?
Kids' Christmas party.
So,
yeah.
and kind of separate from that, the Old Home Association has a get-together in the summer,
We
So,
do
you know,
bingo,
this-
we do bingo for that as well,
right?
so.
And the school has activities going on, so it's a lot to be proud of, okay, without a lot of money. All right, more, less.
I have a
Yep,
little more
go ahead.
speaking of it. So I just wanted to let you guys know, be on the lookout for, we're gonna be putting some stuff on the internet for, what is it, needy kids at the school that needs like Christmas gifts and everything. That's gonna be, the notice went out, last Wednesday in the kids' school bag, so they'll be gonna write what they, families, needy families and everything. We're gonna get with the fire department, they're gonna be delivering them,
Yeah,
but it's gonna be all online, pretty much.
yeah.
So it's like a gift registry, so, yeah. So
There'll
we'll
be a
putting-
link on the.
Yep, there's gonna be a link right on the website, of the school website and the town website.
Is it like an adopt a family type of thing?
You
where
could, yeah.
You adopt a family and take care of whatever.
You don't have to take
family's
all the,
needs are?
just one gift
and
per,
choose.
you pick and choose, yeah. And then it will come over to me, cause unfortunately Miss Kerouac, the, school guidance counselor, is out on maternity leave, so she put that in my hands, which is awesome.
Another hat.
No, it's okay. We're welfare, so it
Good.
works.
Brief description of all that the fire department does. I know you have raffles, you have baskets.
Yep, every year we go do toy shopping for whole families. We bring it back, we wrap it, and we deliver it. Every year we do that.
And when Santa makes his visit around the town, right? That's just to help the town out, you know,
Turkey
help the
raffle
kids.
day?
Yeah, we also do the turkey raffle.
When is
Yeah.
the date of that?
I believe it's a Saturday before Thanksgiving, so I'm not sure exactly what date that is.
Again,
I won't
you
know
folks
that.
get right in the middle of it with the rest of us. Thank you. All right, more. Les, whoops.
One last thing, I don't know if it was mentioned at the previous meeting or not, but the latest scam in town, if you have a package delivered to your door that you weren't expecting, and someone comes to the door and says that, hey, I had it delivered to your house by mistake, or, you know, it was delivered to you by mistake and I have it, do not release the package to them, keep the package and call the police. Scammers are ordering iPhones with stolen Visa cards or whatever, and having them delivered to another address and then coming to you and saying, hey, it was my package, and then the police come and say, you had a whole package of stolen iPhones delivered to you during, no, I don't have them, this guy can't, no. Just call the police if the package comes.
Okay. Roxanne, question?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. Adjourn for non-public?
Make a motion that we adjourn at 7:29 and go into non-public, RSA 91-A, colon,
No, we'll do it
3,
together.
Roman numeral 2.
Yeah, it has to be a cash or bank check, so. It has to be a cash or bank check.
What's that?
Yes,
Oh,
either one.
all in favor?
Aye.
Wednesday.
We didn't do anything on that.
I think so.
I told them to see it.